Professor Melly Mail, the Hood Post, man. Go ahead and retweet that vibe, man. Life is not always about having the best cards to play, but how well you play a poor hand. Let me tap back in with you well, for 1 minute. You know what I mean? When I speak about my homies like Turtle, Mondo, and Gangster, or whoever may be from the neighborhood, you know what I mean? And just for the clarification, in 1984, when that camera crew came all the way across the waters from British Columbia to come over to interview us, make no mistake about what their intent was, because they was fully aware of who they wanted to see, who they wanted to talk to, and the reasons they wanted to talk to us. You understand? And I'm not gonna make no accusations. I'm not gonna put no definition on it, but I'm gonna let it speak for itself, because there were I don't know how many Crips and how many Bloods in the country during that time, but they came for one set and one set only, and that was Santana. You know what I mean? So go ahead and let that sink in. So coming back to Turtle and Mondo, and I want you to understand this as well. After the 1984 video, when Turtle actually caught the violation, he had to go do a year. So what happened is that Turtle is trying to figure out in his mind who was the best person to leave in place that would be able to carry on what we already had built. You know what I mean? And surely that wasn't nothing that I wanted to take on. I like being in the background. I like figuring things out. I'm a calculated man. I'm a analytical person. I like to see things and figure out the numbers and see what it's going to take to get us there. Okay, that's who I am. I'm not the person that want to be the first say on the poster. During this time, that was my mindset during that time. I didn't want to be the person that everybody saw or looked up to, or take that total responsibility. So what happens, he decides to leave things with Bad Habit Rabbit. Bless my homie Bad Habit Rabbit. But at that time, again, I'm a calculated person. I'm taking in everything, you know what I mean? And I'm talking with T, and I'm telling T, man, that Rab, he really didn't have the, let me put it, the mental gymnastics to achieve what he was thinking in his mind. You know what I mean? Because everything he was thinking at that point was going on inside his head, and probably didn't exist nowhere else as far as that went. Don't get me wrong, Turtle was a brilliant man, but he had flaws, as we all do. We are all imperfect. We're not perfect. There's no perfect human being, no perfect man, no perfect woman. So what happens, he entrusted everything to Rab, and you know what I mean, and I was there to help, assisting, make sure this thing go right. So behind the scenes, I was thinking like more or less Mondo, because I had watched Mondo. I watched his growth. I watched how he maneuvered. I watched how everything he did. He was a smart, intelligent man, and he had a lot of vision. And he didn't lack in vision. He didn't lack in foresight. He didn't lack in ingenuity, innovation. He just had everything. I felt like that it took to be able to be on top of the whole economy that was left behind. You know what I mean? In case when the homeboy returned, everything would be, still the way he left it, or better, for, you know what I mean? But if he had followed his way, if I had followed his way, you know what I mean, we wouldn't have probably made it for the next 6-7 months. We probably would have been done as far as they go. So here's what happened. So I come to Mondo. Mondo comes to me and say, man, what we going to do? I said, listen, Mondo, there's a guy, you know who he is, right? I'm not going to mention this guy's name because I don't know what he's doing or not doing. But anyway, we talked, and anyway, I told Mondo, listen, man, you go to him. He's going to do whatever it is he needs to do to see this thing, because he likes money. He see the potential. He see the goal. He see the money, man. He see the elevation in this, and he gonna believe in you because you already been somehow dealing with him. He knows, you know what I mean. So Mondo said, "Yeah, you sure?" I said, "Mondo, trust me on this." So sure enough, Mondo go to him. The moment I saw him pulling back up in that blue 66 with that big old smile on his face, I knew it had happened. I knew that everything I told him had worked out in our favor. But what happens though, So Rab comes in, and I do, you know what I mean? I take care of everything for Rab and put it all together for him, you know what I mean? And Mondo comes in, so he gives me his work, right? I take care of it, put it together, you know what I mean? But Rab only had like, now you're talking about maybe a Nina for all these dudes that's supposed to be on this team, that's supposed to be part of this network, that's supposed to be part of this economy. That's not going to work. That's not going to be able to take care of everybody. Mondo came back with the full thing, right? So Mondo leaves, I take care of everything, put it together. So when Rab returns, he said, "Hey, Mel, who's all that stuff?" I said, "Don't worry about it, man. That's Mondo." He said, "Well, where's mine?" I said, "Man, don't worry about it, man. Mondo's going to take care of you, man. It's, you know what I mean? That way you don't have to worry about it." And I think Rab was comfortable with that, because Rab was a playboy, you know what I mean? He liked playing with the girls. He liked being out and about. He liked moving around. He just liked really taking care of things in that nature, you know what I mean? Which freed him up, you know what I mean? Which put the burden back on Mondo, and rightfully so. Mondo was a great person for it, because he was ready for the task, man. We went from one house to 2 houses, 3 houses, 4 houses, 5 houses, 6 houses. He actually opened up a spot over there on occasion next to the Hippo, which Hippo was from Fruittown. He was on one side of the apartment building. Hippo was on the other. We also opened up another business over there in Limehood off of White Corner. That went great. You know what I mean? So, and that's not counting the 5 houses that were open up right there in the Tanner. You know what I mean? So this guy clearly had a vision, and he knew how to get things moving, you know what I mean, on the return of Kenny Wayne Johnson, man. He was quite impressed with everything. Mondo had, you know, blessed him with a Benz, gave him a gold Benz, you know, at that time I think it was 500. Yeah, 500. It gave him that, and, you know, gave him some other things, you know what I mean. And by this time, you know what I mean, Gangster was there, you know what I mean, doing his thing, you know what I mean, and Mondo had blessed him as well, you know what I mean. He was pretty happy, you know what I mean. So at this time, the economy was moving pretty good and pretty big, you know what I mean. There was no one left out, no one was lacking, you know what I mean. So the moral of that story is, you know what I mean, you don't have to have the best cards, man. You just got to be able to play a poor hand well. And, you know what I mean? We played a poor hand well, and it worked out, you know what I mean, for a good while, you know what I mean? And me and Mondo, you know what I mean, on numerous occasions and nights, we would figure things out and experiment on certain things. And, you know, some things didn't work out, some things did, you know what I mean? But on this occasion, things had ran a little shy, you know what I mean? So Mondo reached out to this guy. His name is Speedy. I'm going to say his name. So Speedy had this, I guess he worked up in this doctor's office up in Culver City, right off the 405. I can't remember what street it was on. But anyway, so me and Mondo, we went up there, and we had two bags full of money, or maybe one bag. But it was full of money. I ain't going to tell you how much it was, but it was quite a bit of money. So we go up there, we sit in the doctor's office, and we're waiting on this guy. Part of the doctor's office is lit up, and the back half is dark. So we sitting in there, and the guy, Speedy, he's getting impatient, seems like, because I think the Colombians are coming to meet us, right? That's what I'm thinking. I mean, that's what Mondo was explaining to me. So, you know what I mean? I had that goddamn it on me, though, because I wasn't trusting the circumstances. I had that goddamn it on me, believe that. So Mondo's sitting there reading Lifetime magazine, never forget it. So the guy gets up, and he's trying to walk to the back, so I gets up with him and walk with him. So he turned to Mondo, "Hey, Mondo, what's wrong with your guy?" I said, "Man, don't worry about what's wrong with me, man. What's wrong with you? Why you got to go to the back? What's back there? You know, come on, let's both of us go back there." So anyway, we get into a little argument. But anyway, I turns to Mondo, "Something ain't right, man. We've been here too long and nobody showed up. Let's go." It was a doctor's office, matter of fact. So we runs out. We jump in. He had a white BMW that he had got from Ron Lauderdale. It was I think a 3 Series or something. Anyway, back then it was in the 80s. So we jumps in it and we take off. When we take off, man, we hit the freeway. We didn't get far, man, before the car just completely quit. Boom. It just completely quit. Didn't know what was wrong with it. Nothing. We at this point, it's no time to figure out because things was moving quite fast, and we was kind of like nervous about the circumstances. We got all this money. I got that goddamn it on me, and so we jump out the car. We leave the car on the freeway. We went up the side of the freeway, and the moment we hit the top of the freeway, I see one of them Jamaicans, well, I didn't know he was Jamaican at the time, but he was driving one of them lime green cabs. Y'all remember them time when they used to drive them lime green cabs. So I waved him down. So yeah, sure enough, he stopped. So I said, man, he's trying to, like, don't want to let us in. Pull out a stack of money. He said, Rasta, you sure, man? Jump in real quick, man. Let's go. So we jumped in, you know what I mean? And he takes us all the way back to Compton. Mondo hit him with a nice little chunk of money, whatever. But anyway, once again, man, it's not always the best cars. It's not the best cards in life. It's not always the best cards to have. It's about how you play well. You play the poor hand. And we played the poor hand once again really good, man, because we didn't know what the circumstances were. We didn't know what was going to happen, but they just based out of the heat of the moment and anticipation, man. Sometimes you just got to, reverse and think about what could happen and what was the possibilities. Are we in control of this circumstance? Are we in control of this situation? No, we won't. Even though I had that goddamn it on me, that didn't mean anything. We don't know what was coming because, what's always behind the appearance is the reality. You know what I'm saying? So you got to always keep that in mind, man. The appearance may be one thing, but what's behind it is the reality, and you may not be able to deal with the reality when it rears its head. So I just want to tap in with you for a moment, man. Share that little story with you, man. Hope y'all enjoying this morning. As for me, I'm working, man. Still a working man. So y'all go ahead out there and enjoy yourself. Professor Melly Mail, the Hood Postman. Go ahead and retweet that vibe, man. Get my likes up, get my subscribers up, click that bell so you can get this content, man, when it comes in, man. You know what I mean? As long as you guys keep subscribing, liking, sharing, I'll keep giving you stories, man. I got plenty of them. I got plenty stories. So, man, be true to the game will be true to you. Professor Melly Mail, I'm out.